Supply chain is not a spreadsheet. That's the title of this video. I've been wanting to do this for a little while now. There's just been a lot going on in the industry. And maybe this will help somebody, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll get buried in the LinkedIn cringe content that I see on a daily. But I wanted to bring up a couple points today. Late night emergency supply chain, video that we all want to watch at 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. I'm going to send this out in the morning, but I was thinking about the RFP process and the way Fortune 100, 500 e-com brands are using consultants and their decision making in the 3PL process. And I want to challenge this and maybe flip it on its side a little, or on its head a little bit, and give out 3 things that I think should be done at the beginning and not necessarily the end. And maybe somebody will watch this and maybe this will be useful, maybe this is stupid. But from my experience, these are 3 things that show you why supply chain is not necessarily a spreadsheet. The first thing is, don't be invisible on your intro calls when you start a process for a new 3PL or a new provider, okay? There's almost no value in doing that. In fact, I would actually say you should make gut calls at early on. Like for instance, if you have 9 or 10 companies you're starting off with, and new 3PL providers, what's the harm in meeting every single one of them and eliminating by discernment, by experience, leaning on your consultant even to say, hey, who did you like, who do you not like, what's your feel, right? Because you don't know them at all. And that's an easy process, right? Because I was thinking about this is like, why would you go down the process of data collection, solution design, et cetera, never meet anybody, and then run the risk of somebody qualifying, then you meet their team and you're not culturally aligned? This just seems like a waste of time. So again, I'm saying, hey, early on, take the time to be visible and meet the companies that you want to partner with. Just because you're even working through a great consulting firm or using getting assistance in some way, they're going to be really great at data collection, solution design, assumptions, working on the minutia of the deal. But at the end of the day, when you sign a new contract, they're probably going to leave at some point, and you are going to be working with people, which we talk about all the time here, but I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, number 2, we should maybe ask to meet the operators and the people on the floor early. So lately I've been doing this in my own process where early on in the process, if I feel like there's a fit on price and service and culture, whatever, I'm bringing in experienced operators early and saying, hey, these are the people that are going to be powering your supply chain. For instance, so many things happen after a go live that are outside of a spreadsheet or a database or software. Stuff like, you go live with a brand and, our manufacturer just called and said, things are going to be a week late. We know we never talked about this, but can you do this? Can you do that? Those are always people questions, and people give the answers. Some companies are more flexible than others. If you have no relationship with the operators at this point or late, and you waited, it just becomes more difficult. Things become a difficult ask, and nobody wants that. Other things like, hey, we're using a new freight forwarder, and apparently they never delivered to you before. Can you give me somebody's cell phone number? Because somebody needs to call them and ask for Jim and give directions to your new warehouse, etc. Okay, these are all supply chain on the daily. Everyone in this industry knows this is how it works. And I just can't emphasize enough the relationship you need to have with the operator in the building to execute this. These are things that never come up in an RFP. My point is, why not get this stuff out of the way early? Down select, assuming there's boundaries and goalposts on pricing, but down select early on, hey, I like John Doe or Jane Doe. They're going to support my business. I trust them. That is worth a lot. I can't emphasize that enough, and experienced operators know this. So I'm not necessarily pushing this or selling it. People who know just know, but I'm encouraging you to maybe meet people earlier. Okay, the third thing is audited financials. Okay, so instead of waiting to the end, why not from the beginning? say, hey, we'd like a meeting with the CFO. We just want to make sure you're on a solvent on solid footing, and that's part of the down selection process. Okay, obviously I'm biased towards Barrett, but there's a lot of great 3PLs out there. And now is not the time to be probably partnering with a company that is either insolvent or shaky or might go through a sale, or et cetera, et cetera. Again, without getting too in the details of this, what I'm saying is do this first instead of last. So I almost feel like sometimes this standard process that we go through is inverted, because it's easy. It's our human nature. It's easy to feel like if we have a spreadsheet with these questions, we're vetting, we're doing work, we're solving problems, but we're really not. And truthfully, companies don't want to partner with the other side of that either. Meaning, like, a good company, it wants to quickly meet the people they could potentially marry, not because that we think we're better than anyone. It's just that, we know that at the end of the day, like, we're gonna have to know the people that we're working with too, and it's a lot of work to do on both sides before it's like a blind date. It's a lot of work to do before you've even had lunch. And so I would just encourage to do all this stuff on the front. Hope this helps. Thank you.